We have a project coming together very quickly involving one of the biggest stars right now in Austin Butler. This comes to us from Deadline. They say, here is a package that has several major studios off to the races. Deadline is hearing that Austin Butler is attached to star in a movie about infamous cyclist Lance Armstrong, with Edward Berger on board to direct.
Wow.
King Richard scribe Zach Balin is penning the spec, with Scott Stuber and Nick Nesbitt producing along with Berger, Nick Lick, and others. Sources say the package has already caused a frenzied bidding war, with several offers in from major studios. Insiders say that Stuber has been working for some time to get Armstrong's life rights. For so long, in fact, it precedes Stuber's new United Artists deal, which is why the project is going to market instead of Amazon MGM Studios getting first dibs at it. Prior to relaunching UA and setting a deal with Amazon, there were a handful of films Stuber was planning to produce separately, and this project was one of them. Insiders say Amazon top brass are completely supportive of this plan. Hollywood has always been enamored with the Armstrong story, as it involves the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Armstrong famously survived cancer and returned to the world of pro cycling, where he would go on to win the famed Tour de France an incredible 7 consecutive times. Hollywood would soon fall in love with that story, with several A-listers chasing the role of a lifetime. But before that story could be told, Armstrong, after denying it for years, ultimately admitted to blood doping, ultimately ending his career. Hollywood did end up telling that story, with Ben Foster ultimately portraying the actor as more of a villain in the 2015 movie The Program, which Armstrong was not a part of. This, which combines elements of F1 the movie and Scorsese's Raging Bull and Wolf of Wall Street, will cover the life and career of Armstrong, capturing the highs and lows of his extraordinary journey. The current project being shot will mark the first time Armstrong has signed off on his rights. Stuber and Armstrong have had a relationship for some time, and the producer made it clear to Armstrong they needed to tell everything or he didn't want to do the film. After many discussions over a long period, Armstrong signed off on it. And so, with this sign off, the hope is to have the film be a cross between F1, Oscar nominated, The Wolf of Wall Street, Oscar nominated. And insiders say Balin is not only talking to Armstrong, but also spent time with people in Armstrong's life, with nothing off limits. Stuber's no stranger to producing films about iconic public figures, having just worked on the Bruce Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere. And Butler earned an Oscar nomination with his portrayal of Elvis Presley with Baz Luhrmann's film. So it seems like we're seeing the rumblings of a very high-profile movie with all the right pieces. Edward Berger, of course, of Conclave fame, which is also Oscar love. So it seems like these bad boys are trying to put something together so they can be in those nice black and whites at the Oscars on stage, getting their golden man. So I want to ask you, based on the people involved in this project, obviously a big star within Austin Butler and the writing duo behind it, and Lance Armstrong signing off saying, tell it all, I give you my blessing. What do you think about this project, and how far can this bad boy really go with all these powerhouse names behind it? Does this,
this could be
more?
This could be huge. Obviously, this is a pop cultural piece that we lived through. We know what this story is. We know how far it goes. Like you said, the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. The opportunity for Lance Armstrong specifically to take more ownership of his own narrative story is a big deal. He's getting older. Who knows what state of health he actually is in these days. Unfortunately, cancer does have a high recurrence rate. And this could be something that, in terms of his legacy, this is his last chance to really kind of put a bow on what that story actually looks like. And, good or bad, he's like, look, I'm a person. This is what happened. I'm just gonna tell the story. And to have the best players possible to tell that story will do nothing but kind of, like put that staple of where he stands in history. Because I think that's kind of the thing. This is a matter of legacy, and these are great players to help tell that story. If you want to do it right, this is how you do it.
No, 100%. These are some big players, and for those uninitiated with Stuber, he's currently working on several big films, including Lizard Music with
Hmm.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Benny
That's
Safdie's
right.
latest collab, a film adaptation of Frida McFadden's #1 New York Times bestselling psychological thriller, The Tenant, and a new version of Highlander
Mm.
starring Henry Cavill. And most recent project included Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein for Netflix. So
Hmm.
he is on a run right now, and it makes sense that he wants to get on that black and white and
Absolutely.
collect that golden man. And so, with Berger, he's been on a run as well. Conclave, I don't know if you've seen it.
Hmm.
Was a fascinating movie. It might not be, they made a story about popes exciting. That
Yes,
is
they
not
did.
an
Yes, they
easy
did.
task to do. And
Mm-mm.
Edward Berger, he has been on a run directing wise for quite some time. He did Conclave, he did All Quiet on the Western Front. He filmed some
Hmm.
episodes of Your Honor, starring Breaking Bad's Bryan Cranston. So this
That's right.
guy is hot right now, and it seems like this is the right project to get him back in the Oscars race. And we've seen this happen in Hollywood so much, where it's like they get that Oscar love, they're on the stage. What project can get them back in there? And so
Right.
this seems like a project that is fascinating in itself, but also very tailor made for the award season. So
Hmm.
it's really exciting. Jeffrey says, I'm still a huge fan of Armstrong. I saw his extra tough summer training ground in Colorado, and my hat is still off to him. Austin Butler's a great choice. And
Hmm.
I totally agree. There are still people on the fence. It's a very divisive pop culture character. This is a
Yeah.
guy that
Yeah.
came back from cancer, won the Tour de France 7 times, got caught doping, having other
Hmm.
cyclists dope, providing it to them, um, made us believe with the Live Strong bands, which was like the biggest thing at the time. And
Right.
so many ups and downs and such a polarizing figure. And what better representation to have than Austin Butler, who is one of the hottest actors doing it right now. And,
Hmm.
don't let the pretty face fool you, but this guy's turn in Dune 2 as one of the ultimate villains in sci-fi that we've seen
Hmm.
was one of the best turns that I've seen, arguably since Heath Ledger took on the role of Joker. Not at that level, but
Sure.
at someone who you were like, I can't see it. And then it's like, whoa, this
Oh
guy,
my gosh. Yeah.
this
Yeah.
this guy can act and is scary. So
Hmm.
even if you weren't a big Dune fan, his performance
Definitely
definitely
understand that.
was something that blew me away. So
Hmm.
I'm excited for this. I think this has a lot of potential. I loved King Richard, with whatever happened after with Will Smith is,
Right. It
something else in its own right. But the movie itself,
was really
the
good.
storytelling of the, Venus and Serena story and their
Hmm.
father, and it was such a beautiful film, and the pacing, and it was just, it flowed so well. And that's what you want to see in this kind of
Right.
movie, is like the flow of the movie. Once you're in it, you're with these characters till the end, and being with Lance Armstrong on his journey till the end is going to be such a crazy up and down ride that I, for
Absolutely.
one, am super excited for.
Love it. Love it.
Woo! All right, guys. Well, tell us what you guys think. Are you excited for another Lance Armstrong movie? I did like that Ben Foster one. I thought it was very good, but he was the ultimate villain in that. And I think this is really the human story of what it means to be Lance Armstrong. And I think that needs to be told. And I, for one, am really excited to see it. So drop a comment below and let us know your guys' thoughts.